Hello, my name is Steven Leigh Morris, and I'm here in Moscow. I'm not in Moscow, I'm in Saratov, in front of the Saratov Youth Theater, where last night Lee Breuer premiered his production of Sam Shepard's Curse of the Starving Class. It's unlike any production of any Sam Shepard play I've ever seen before. It did just remind me of how in when he did the Mabumein's Dollhouse, that Ibsen was vaguely recognizable, turned inside out, upside down, rattled, and then on the stage floor that you could recognize the play. And this is much like the same kind of thing with Sam Shepard. The romanticism was weirdly there, but he filtered the whole thing through an MTV parody of just about every myth that's made up, every myth that's made up, that's been carved out of the American Southwest. There was images. There was a zombie movie parody in the middle of it. I don't know how Sam Shepard would feel about that, and I'm not absolutely sure how the Russian audiences felt about it. It was obviously in Russian, but they. There seems to be a clear generational divide. The people under 30 in the house were just eating it up, and the people over theater looked generally perplexed. One woman in front of me looked absolutely annoyed, but she did come back for Act 2, so she wasn't that annoyed. And by the end, though, it seemed to have landed. There was an accumulative effect. It's one of the few places you don't see much in States where you actually have live animals on the stage. There was a sheep who put in a breathtaking performance, staring at the audience. There was a bathtub with flowers that came up out of the stage. The sheep was in the bathtub, eating the flowers, kind of gazing out over the audience through much of the dialogue, while one of the characters embraced the sheep and obviously was using it as a major support system. That when not in other scenes, the sheep literally ate the scenery, which was the first time you can use that cliche and actually mean it.
There was a scene when you told me,
yes,
where you said that I wasn't sure if I was with this or not, and then when he brought out the sheep, the whole show landed.
Well, until then,
that's what you're talking about.
It had been sort of gothic parodies and somewhat facile and sometimes very, very despondent. And I thought, oh, this is really pretty dreary. This is dreary Sam Shepard, even though it was very funny. It was funny in a very cynical way. When the sheep showed up, I thought, this is going to end well. No matter how it ends, it's going to end well, because suddenly it took on a whole redemptive quality. There was something, I don't mean to be overly sentimental, but there was something slightly spiritual about that was so heartfelt. You just can't beat a sheep gazing out on the audience. I just think the audience was totally swept up, and I along with them. Which is probably more about our own gullibility than it is about Lee Breuer's production. But he played it very well, and the sheep was superb.